my tech project, and I am Gerardo Romo, and I talk about the happiness. Before I start, I would like to show you a quote about happiness that I found very interesting. Your greatest happiness does not depend on the condition of life in which change has a place, but is always the result of gun conscience, good health, occupations, and freedom in our just pursuits. Thomas Jefferson. We have asked yourself if one day we finally reach the happiness. But fears, what is the happiness? Happiness is the state of you being happy, you experience positive thought and nothing else. Nowadays, the society has created a mind conception of happiness. For example, it is said that someone that owns tons of money is happy, or someone who has a lot of girls is happy. But have you ever seen the news about famous artists who get into depression and someone even kill themselves? And you just ask how could someone like him or her can commit suicide if he has a lot of fame, money, and beautiful girls? How comes this is the proof that we all have the mind conception about true happiness? But the truth is that only thing that you have to do is you be by emotional intelligence, by learning to manage and manipulate your emotional instead of being controlled by them, and that's it. Happiness is created when your brain releases a substance named dopamine, which is the hormone of happiness. Like, for example, noradrenaline is the hormone released when you are danger or exciting. So going back to the initial question, which situations make us reach that release of neurotransmitter? The answer to these questions might be too varied. Happiness might be reached by achieving goals begin with your mother or with close friends or your pet. Listen to a song that you have associated with happy moments you have had in your life and feel all the goosebumps through in your body, or when even when you are just chilling out while thinking about everyday tasks you can get this spark of happiness. Reaching for eternal happiness is totally impossible. We just cannot be in this stateful happiness forever. That's why human emotionally exists. For example, anger helps us to focus on certain hard obstacles, or also when you need a decision, anger might help instead of overthinking and then losing the opportunity to choose between something. Fear. We all see this as trying to associate the person who are weak or insecure of themselves, but that's so incorrect. Fear makes a process with questions or words or used when we are in risk. So ask yourself, what could have happened to you do it? You didn't take the proper questions at the moment when you sense fear, sadness. When we are having a sadness attack, we may seek for helping with our closest friends or family. These mixed sounds are negative, but the positive part is when the action develops for confidence between the person who helped and you. Also, when you are trapped in a pit of sadness, you may start to think about yourself. In some cases, the action may be a boundary between a long time of sadness and lead to change your life. Also, there are a theory which says that most artists release the most artistic part of them when they facing by sadness. For example, paintings, I don't know, Vincent Van Gogh and Frida Kahlo, they were in a depressive state, and the moment when they painted the most iconic painting all time. And the same goes for musicals like Eminem or 50 Cent. Has you noticed how the previous emotions have every important role in our lives, but someone if you meet have not the excessive amount of these emotions, conduct to a wrong path? Imagine the next hypothetical situation. There are someone who is always happy. He might be to disconnect from reality, and he might be more susceptible not to pay attention to something he just ignored because he was just being happy. Someone he is always having fear or everything will stay in this comfortable zone. Always he will never experience new things because he doesn't ever want to risk or less give a chance to something. Someone who is always angry be vulnerable, to get off control and do things that he wasn't not intending to do, but he didn't because he was so angry. Also, when you are too angry, you may take important decisions that require more consideration without thinking in two times. He only takes the decisions that are better for him in the moment, but he totally forgives about the future. So I guess that all of you are wondering where I'm going to. Well, I said previously, you can control your emotions to keep them balanced and don't get them off control. But in the other side, not completely to about them, the action of doing this is called emotional intelligence, and this concept is crucial for reaching our happiness. On your brains, we have the full thoughts, but with emotional intelligence, we can override these thoughts in order to avoid vicious circles of anger, of sadness, for example. But, but how can we develop our emotional intelligence? If you start to feel sad, you may be just thinking in negative things or just imagine a bad future or remember painful past experience. This is a difficult reaction from a brain, but here is where you are going to develop it to emotional intelligence. You just need to avoid the negative thoughts cause then you need to accept what just happened and made you sad. Then you will look for solution to what's happened instead of remembering bad experience and thinking like that. And finally, the most important thing you have to do, you need to put effort in those solutions that just came to your mind. In resume, all you need to do is to replace the default negative thoughts with positive thoughts and then work in them. And they will be all for the other feelings like anger or fear, you will apply the same rules and just give to you. So, start to avoid the misconception that some emotions are only negative. They might be negative if not controlled, like in the majority of cases, but remember these emotions. We always have purpose or begins there and you have to manipulate them in order to acquire emotional intelligence, and if you follow these paths on balancing your emotions, believe me, you will start to experience much more happiness than before. And finally, remember over all things that there is happiness everywhere. The only task that you need to do is to know where to find it. Remember that you can be happy with little experience. You are not going to win race or competitions every single day of your life. Try to always seek for little sparks of happiness that are hidden everywhere. For example, next time that you are just walking outside, try to look up in the sky and see the beautiful colors of clouds, or in the night try to observe the constellations, or in a hot season when you are sad and you start to feel the wine in your body after every hot day, try to enjoy the feeling of the cool wine in your body after a very hot day, and then listening to the wine and lips. It really works. Thank you and stay happy. Lo leí todo, pero pues, no mames.